What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar and welcome back to the BBL. I'm so excited to be doing team builders again. I missed out on one last week because we faced Leo, who is a very good opponent, and he is more than likely going to make playoffs, so I didn't want to do a team builder for that. But now we are facing off against somebody who may or may not make playoffs, but since I don't really know them all that well, I wanted to do a team builder for you guys. This game is actually super important because I'm undefeated right now. I'm 5-0. If I win this one and my next one, I'm guaranteed playoffs. Guaranteed, locked up, put it in the bag. And what makes that absolutely amazing is that I need to kind of sort of go all out versus this team, and his team is super scary, so I have to try really hard. And versus this team, I'm gonna have to build in a very opposite way of what I like to do, because also you're gonna see that I don't have Kingler anymore. I unfortunately dropped it for Gold Duck. I wanted Gold Duck during the draft, but I was sniped of Gold Duck, which is funny to say, but I wanted Gold Duck so nobody else could have it. In case I have to play Groudon, Primal Groudon, any form of Sun in playoffs, I didn't want anybody else to have it. I wanted to be the one to have it. That's literally the only reason why. Anyway, my opponent's team is very unique, very strange, and he's been using it very similarly week to week, meaning, luckily for me, I have some good data to go on. My opponent pretty much has been bringing his top 5 and then subbing in Drapion, Miltank, or Archeops each week. And that means that if he brought Drapion, he didn't bring Stealth Rocks. So because of that, I know pretty much that my opponent is very comfortable with his top 5. I can prep for those pretty much exclusively and then just have on some nice ways of being able to beat down Drapion, Miltank, and Archeops. That's pretty much the best way that I can do it. Unfortunately, my opponent, his top 5 are phenomenal and they're very hard to prep against. Zygarde 50% in my opinion is a little bit of a suboptimal Uber. The reason why is because let's say you're going up against like a Z move, it can just OHKO you and you never even get off your father form. If somebody, like the way that I build, whenever I have a stupid threat that has a 4x weakness, I have ice coverage on literally everything that I bring. So I don't really think that it's that difficult to build against. However, I'm saying that now, I could very well get swept by it, and that's unsettling to say the least. But so with that, I think we should just go ahead and hop into the team. Wait, wrong. Yep, there we go. So the way that I wanted to start out this team was with my Crustle. It is one of the few mons I have not brought yet. I brought everything else aside from Crustle and now Golduck and Kingler, but so I wanted to bring Crustle. Now Crustle I could have done a couple different things with. I could have done a spike stacking Crustle, and what that would have meant is that I would have been able to get off a guaranteed 12% on Magearna, Zygarde, Megazam, Tangrowth, everything would have gotten a guaranteed 12%, whereas with rocks, Magearna's only taking like 6%, so is Zygarde, so spikes have been really good. However, I started to realize as a lead, he has nothing to stop just Shell Smash Crustle. I get a kill. At +2, if he's offensive Magearna, I kill it with Earthquake. At +2, I outspeed Mega Alakazam with this investment. At well, I outspeed him speed creeping my Mega Mewtwo X. So let's say that. At +2, Z Rock Wrecker blows back literally anything that he thinks might be able to take an attack from this thing. Rotom might be able to take an X Scissor, is immune to Earthquake, it can't take a Z Rock Wrecker. So this Pokemon literally Shell Smashes up turn 1, gets a couple kills. The way that he stops that is with Taunt. He does have a couple decent Taunt users. Cottony is one of them. Archeops is one of them. Drapion is one of them, and I think Alakazam gets Taunt as well, so that'd be a little bit scary and a little bit of a different way to play around it. But this is my lead. I plan on punting a damn lasagna shaped hole that is Crustle through his team turn 1. That's the goal. Then what I want to do is I want to be able to beat him with Bulk Up Mega Mewtwo X with 3 attacks. I have Bulk Up, Earthquake, Drain Punch, Ice Beam. As you can see, has practically perfect coverage for everything on his entire team. I have enough bulk to be able to take multiple hits from Mega Alakazam. I have enough bulk to be able to actually tank As you're going to see, I do a parting shot on the team to be able to tank -1 floor cannons if he's not invested in Magearna. I can tank multiple 1,000 arrows, and I can bulk up alongside him and then ice beam the hell. Like, if he coils with his Zygarde, I can bulk up alongside of it and then just ice beam it to hell, and it's dead. Drain Punch is also really good because it beats down any of the wild cards that he could bring, the wild cards being Probopass, Archeops, which I do not outspeed, by the way, Miltank, and Drapion. I don't outspeed Archeops because I don't expect it to come, and if it does come, I don't expect it to be that big of a threat. It can't really hurt me that much unless it has Acrobatics with no item, and even then I click Drain Punch and I get a lot of health back. And I really wanted to be Adamant. Adamant max attack Mega Mewtwo X just does so much damage to his entire team, so this is another way that I can win and or break the team. I think that this set just has a phenomenal matchup, and on top of that, we have another setup threat. I'm bringing setup spam this week. I'm bringing a super offensive team, and the setup spam is going to have SD Gliscor, SD Earthquake, Ice Fang, Facade. What this does is this opens up a door for whatever I need it to. This has a phenomenal matchup versus his Zygarde, versus his Magearna, versus his Rotom, versus his Tangrowth, his Drapion, his Miltank. Like, all of his walls, I can break one of them, and whichever one I break, I can find that pathway to victory for whichever ones are left. I have enough speed for some invested Miltank, I believe. I think Miltank hits like 127, or no, it hits like 121, 122, something like that. So I have some invested Miltank is what I outspeed. Next up, I have Alolan Muck, and I'm bringing max attack Adamant Alolan Muck. I'm bringing a really offensive team this week, guys. So I have Assault Vest to be able to tank hit from Magearna as well as tank a hit from Mega Alakazam. I have Fire Punch, Knockoff, Poison Jab, and Shadow Sneak with Poison Touch. Knockoff is super spammable versus my opponent's team because his only Z-move users, realistically, are Golurk, Drapion, Archeops, meaning everything else is going to be really reliant on leftovers, on Assault Vest, on something. If I can knock that off, I'll be set. I have max attack Fire Punch to be able to do a lot of damage to Magearna, to put it in range of a plethora of different hits, including +2 Earthquake or just regular Earthquake depending on his investment, so I can guarantee live it with Sturdy. So that's what this whole thing is for. And then I have max attack Adam and Shadow Sneak to be able to hit the Mega Alakazam. Very self-explanatory set, very self-explanatory team, and like 4 Mons. And I think you guys can understand why. Next up, I have mixed defensive Vaporeon, enough bulk to be able to take on Mega Alakazam, along with mixed Zygarde. I can't really take on DD that well, or Banded, but I can take on Mixed, which is pretty good. And I can kind of sort of see Mixed coming because I do have an Intimidate user, things like that. I could see it coming, as well as like if he's like Coil with Core Enforcer, I could also see that happening, to be able to hit my Ditto if I copy his Zygarde. So that is kind of what this set is. It's just bulky, mainly to switch into Mega Alakazam, as well as Magearna kind of sort of, and see, here's the thing, Magearna can kind of sort of set up on this thing, but everything else it can't set up again. So as long as I'm careful with my Vaporeon, I should never give Magearna a free setup option. So next up, we have Silvally Grass. This is one of my main Zygarde checks. Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Parting Shot, Defog. I do not want him to Hazard Stack me with Toxic Spikes. So I don't want him to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes in the face of my Silvally Grass, and he, like, let's say Parting Shot out and I don't have Muck around anymore. I wanted to still have a way of getting rid of things like Toxic Spikes and Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks could be pretty annoying for my Sturdy user. Max Special Attack Modest with Ice Beam guarantees, no, this is for Flamethrower. Flamethrower guarantees that I 2-shot max HP Magearna, or like some invested Magearna, give or take. And then Ice Beam also does a metric shit ton to his Zygarde. So that was the whole idea behind this set. Just give me a nice little general switch in and or pivot into Zygarde and Magearna, mainly Zygarde, because I don't really switch into it that well. But everything on this team is meant to either handle or pivot on Magearna to make sure he can't be Calm Mind. So he can never get up a Calm Mind plus a Trick Room, a Calm Mind plus a Shift Gear, things like that. So that was the whole idea behind the team. Never let Zygarde set up for free, and never let Mega Alakazam set up for free. I could have ran Pursuit on this for Mega Alakazam, but I figured Mega Alakazam would expect that, and it would have some type of tech to be able to beat me. I couldn't really think of what it could be, but he could have it. So that is going to be the team, guys. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below for me. Make sure you go check out my opponent. His links will be down in the description below. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get the heck on out of here. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.